Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jasmine Moyer. I'm so excited to co-host Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
Yes, and today I am so super excited for today's show. It's all about Thursday thoughts, and we are going to talk about how your thoughts are creating your reality. We're also going to talk about the 9 healing factors of radical remission, and we are going to talk with an epic woman's journey about how she's healing her own life and how she's helping heal the world. I'm so honored to have the show today.
All about healing.
Right?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, Thought Thursday. We have a very special guest in the house. Good morning, Kelly Gores. She is the filmmaker behind Heal and a star of the show today. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we are so excited that you're here in-house. We have so many questions for you. But first of all, on Good Morning La La Land, we like to know what your morning routine is. So how does somebody like you, who's a writer, producer, filmmaker, boss babe, start her day?
Well, I try to start every day with a clean slate. Start with gratitude for that clean slate. Every day is a new day. You get to create something new every day, let go of the past, and start and create a beautiful day. And then, 99% of the time I try to meditate, which is my biggest tool for, maintaining a healthy mindset. It creates space. It allows my intuitive, my inner voice, my intuition to come through, and my creativity to show up in the day. And I get less triggered if I start and set the tone for my day that way.
That's so interesting. For me, it's hard to let go and not let yesterday plague my today. How do you do that? What's your secret?
Well, yes, it is hard, and we are all human. But, the more and more you realize that energy just keeps you in the past. And if you stay in the past and you're dwelling on the past, you don't have that energy to move forward and create something new. So if you let people drag you down or bother you, it's one of the big things in my film is forgiveness, letting go. It's not for them, it's not for their sake, it's for your sake. You free up that energy, you free up that mental stress and that emotional stress in your life so that you have energy and you can create, everything is vibration. So if you're dwelling in the past in negativity or regret or, guilt or hurt, that vibration is going to affect you moving forward. So you got to switch it up and let go for you, not for them.
Ooh, high vibes only.
Right? She's speaking my language. I love this woman. She is a badass. Sorry, but she is. She's all that in a bag of chips for sure.
Chips. Taking it back right now, Dr. Erin. Taking it
healthy
back.
Healthy chips, though. Healthy chips. Organic, of course.
Baked.
Taking it back. I haven't heard that for a minute. I haven't heard that expression for a minute.
I'm so excited to get back there and dive into her consciousness for sure. So, oh my gosh. So speaking of starting your day, let me just say that I completely slept through my alarm this morning. So I set 2 alarms, you guys need to know, because I'm always thinking, what if I didn't hit the button right or something? I have 2 phones, so I'm doing both. And I've been waking up at 5 in the morning and doing my meditation just like Kelly, And this morning I thought, well, it's getting a little bright in my bedroom this morning. I look at the alarm, it's like 6:40. I was like, okay, we're going to have a fast shower today.
That's all right. Wow. I know that feeling. Yeah. And then you wake up in a panic and you're rushed.
Yeah, and I was like, breathe. I luckily meditated last night for like an hour before I went to sleep, so I got my meditation in
Probably
anyway.
why you slept so well. Right? Like, what am I worried about? Sleep right through the alarm. Yeah.
How about you guys? So Valentine's Day, hello.
Valentine's Day indeed. How was your Valentine's
We're
Day?
all work, no play around
We are,
here.
we are.
Rob was working, I was working. I decided to have a little self-love time. Thank you so much to one of our special guests yesterday, Allison Marie Ruguso. She created this very special love box for us.
So beautiful.
Yes, it's a beauty box full of Good Morning La La Land's favorite Bogavia products. So I spent some time slathering up with Valencia vanilla last night. Yeah, just loving myself a little bit and taking some me time.
And half the proceeds do go towards the victims of Montecito mudslides and from the fires, of course. So, you know, if you haven't got your box yet and you have a loved one, or if you just want to spoil yourself, you can check it out.
Yeah, I wasn't spoiling myself selfishly. I was giving back. That was a very conscious choice.
Guilt-free purchase. It's a very guilt-free purchase.
No, absolutely. It was so thoughtful of her. So I was really grateful for that. And, you know, my mom sent me a really nice care package. She's so great at that. And she's been practicing her manifesting.
So cute.
Which is not,
we love you, Mom.
Yeah, which is not like my mom. She's all the way back in the Midwest, and she calls me and she said, I want to tell you Happy Valentine's Day. I sent you a package. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Because, you know, she still gives me a Valentine's Day present every year. She's like, and now I'm manifesting for you health, wealth, and love.
Wow.
Thank you,
Mom.
Yes, thank you. Praise emoji right there.
We love you, Mom.
She is working hard for
me. When your
me.
mom starts dropping the M word, manifesting, you know it's working. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Usually it's marriage is the word they drop.
Yeah, right.
She's been dropping that one on me for years. So I was like, stick to the manifesting, Mom. Like, take the pressure off the other stuff for me for a minute.
Prefer that M word, huh?
So how about you, Rob?
I was working too, just like, thank God I love my work, or it would be a major problem. But yeah, I was working, and then I did stop by Erwan in Venice to check out the Bogavia event, but I was a little bit late. But it was packed there. It was packed.
Really?
Oh my goodness, it was packed.
Well, it's like a dating place, right? It's kind of a hookup scene. Some of those
Everyone.
organic spots.
Have you ever picked up somebody at the grocery store?
I've not, but I've heard a lot of stories of friends that do.
Really?
Tons, like Whole Foods. Oh yeah,
It's one of the best places.
Erwan, yeah.
And the library, I think, and a bookstore.
Wow, the
And
library.
the gym.
You're like,
And the gym.
excuse me. What are you doing in the library?
Well, you know what happens is, it's for me, often what happens is, and it's not always just romantic, it's usually friendship stuff too, but you're in the same section, and if it's self-help or spirituality, those people tend to be pretty open. They're wanting to learn, they're wanting to
That's a good one.
connect, and so...
Get them while they're vulnerable. That's
right.
what I'm saying.
Get that. I always get the embarrassing aisle, like, shopping cart thing. The other day, I was going through Target, my home away from home, right? And I had this huge pack of toilet paper and toothpaste, like my basics, right? And I hear Jeslyn, and this, like, really gorgeous guy runs up to me and he gives me a kiss on my cheek and he's like, how are you? And I was like, I'm really embarrassed actually right now. Could you have waited till I checked out for a second?
Oh my gosh. So speaking of, you know, some other things, we also have what's it called? My Life? I forgot what it's called that we do here.
We're going to show that in the second segment.
Oh, we are? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. So let's take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 9 healing factors of radical remission. It's actually a study of 1,500 case studies that Kelly Turner, PhD, did a great research project on it. So I can't wait to talk about those 9 healing factors. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to This Week in Focus. I am your host, Victoria Simone, bringing you some of the highlights of what was filmed last week at the Focus TV network, which is America's first video streaming talk show network. I have my girl today helping me out,
Jez Moye, co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand. Tell me about This Week in Focus.
All right, well first up, let's actually talk about the newest issue of Focus magazine with Lillian Garcia on the cover. This amazing woman is a singer, songwriter. She's a host of her own podcast, Chasing Glory, and she's a WWE alum. She was also on your show. Last week on the Focus TV network, we shot Moms Matter, hosted by Shirin Yadagard. We had Shift Happens with Matt Galan and psychic Michelle Mache. Aside from our normal lineup, we had Good Morning LaLaLand, who was on your show.
We had Get Fit with Katie Austin, Vance Soto of the Ola Henriksen Spa, and Ali Levine of Stripped. Of course, we invited Lillian back to the studio and gave her the cover here.
Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Focus. I'm your host, Victoria Simone. Jez, thanks for helping me out. Bye-bye.
I'm Jez Moye, co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show with one of my associate producers, Victoria Simone.
Hey girl, what happened this week in LaLaLand?
In case you missed us live, in LaLaLand on Monday, we got a fashion pass and we had 138 water with some of Maxim's finest. Tuesday was Vance Soto, owner of the Ola Henriksen Salon, and we got fit with Katie Austin. Now Wednesday we were lights, camera, action with Arian Alexander, and on Thursday it was an incredible honor to have Lillian Garcia, who graces the cover of Focus magazine, here in studio. What? Friday we got Stripped with Ali Levine, and we got a look into some of the LA's top restaurants with Tammy Saffron of LA Chefs.
Yes.
It was a great week in LaLaLand.
Bye-bye.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. We're so excited to have #Thought Thursday and a very special guest in the house. She is the filmmaker behind the genius film, The Heal documentary, Kelly Noonan Gores. We have a special look at her life Take a look.
Goris, and I'm the writer, director, producer of the Heal documentary, and this is my life. I grew up in Long Beach, California, and I love sports. But that being said, I was not a healthy kid. I ate McDonald's, and nothing green passed my lips. Looked at myself in the mirror, saw that I gained the freshman 15, and I was like, maybe I should start eating green things. I read Marianne Williamson's book, Return to Love. That set me on a path of spiritual, interest, and then also science. I was fascinated with optimizing this experience we call life. I produced this documentary that marries science and spirituality and teaches us how to go to the doctor, accept the diagnosis, but we make our own prognosis. The body is capable of miraculous things, and this is my life.
Inside and out, truly using her energy for good for the world. So Kelly, I have a question for you. We have a question for you because today is all about healing. It's all about the Heal documentary. And so I want to first define what is healing? What is healing to you?
Ooh, that is a deep question. The film is trying to help people heal physically, and our bodies, I believe, are designed to heal. We have this amazing system in place called our immune system and our nervous system. And all these interconnected systems in our body that, if we really think about it, is miraculous. And we kind of get in the way of that healing process. So we are either in our nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, we're either in rest and repair or fight or flight, which is stress. If we're not stressed out, we are resting and repairing, and our body literally is designed to heal and repair and rejuvenate and regenerate. The problem is most of us are in stress a lot of time. So that will eventually lead to physical degeneration and breakdown. But healing goes beyond the physical, because a lot of times people heal spiritually on a healing journey, but their physical body doesn't necessarily follow suit, or, for whatever the reason. There's such a bigger conversation around that. But we are spiritual beings living in a physical experience. Even if your physical body isn't, healed in that general sense of the word, if you are living, you can find healing in your spirit and your soul and find that joy and bliss regardless of what's going on physically. So that's true healing.
A great definition. Thank you so much. And I swear I did not ask her this question or prepare her for that question. This is obviously an expert in the realm of healing. And so just thank you so much for all your work. So excited to get back there and interview you about the documentary. So, oh my gosh, so speaking of this, Jessalyn, I have to talk about you before we get on today's, because, having Kelly come on, talking about Heal documentary and just kind of getting like some of the basics, we realized that part of Jessalyn's, do you mind if we talk about this?
No, it's fine.
So part of so if you see on her arm, she has something on her hand because she's had some neurological issues, right? So we were realizing that. Tell them a little bit about how this is kind of a profound conversation for you today.
Well, it's extremely profound and very timely. I have a condition called reflex sympathetic dystrophy, and it puts my body in a constant state of fight or flight, right? So my body is constantly stressed out and I can't control that. And so it's been a huge journey in my healing, because I'm trying to heal spiritually, but my body isn't aligning with that for 4.5 years. And so it's a really important conversation for me to be having today, and I'm so excited Kelly's here.
Right, and I think it's important to know that in the documentary also that they do take in Western medicine and Eastern and spiritual. So it's important, like for Jez, she's far enough along where she has to deal with Western and deal with the healing.
But then weekly I'm going to acupuncture, and I'm seeking, therapy and guidance from people who can help me spiritually, because it's hard to forgive myself and forgive my body for not healing, because there's so much anger and resentment for that. Even though it's been such a powerful journey and I'm better than the doctors ever thought I was, I'm not all the way there, and that's very frustrating.
It's such a profound conversation, and I do know from my personal experience, it's so seductive and tempting to take score of where you are physically and use that as a measuring stick for where you are either psychologically or emotionally or spiritually. And that's always the trap. And so the challenge is to be so deeply in tune with what you're feeling on a spiritual level, or who you are, what you are on a spiritual level, that the outer manifestation is almost irrelevant. It's just not on your radar at all. And I know that from reading lots of stuff and watching the Heal documentary, that's a big piece of it.
Well, and even trying to keep it not on my radar, then you have the conversations with the doctors and they tell you something that you don't want to believe or you don't want to hear. And that's hard because I want to be in agreement with everyone, but my soul isn't in agreement with a lot of this.
Of course.
Well, as they say in the Heal documentary, look at the diagnosis, but don't listen to the prognosis, meaning that you can say the reality, but how you heal and how fast you heal or what they think it's going to go is not necessarily the case. So on that note, let's get into the 9 factors because we want to just and helping heal the world along with Kelly, okay? So 9 healing factors. This is a study done by Dr. Kelly Turner. Is actually 1,500 cases that she took of radical remission. There's been tons of studies of people that have said, you're gonna die, you've got, 6 months to live, and they turn their entire life around. And things like,
medical advice.
No medical advice here. Number one thing that she said is, the common denominator was radically changing their diet. So she went around these people and number one thing they radically changed their diet, right? So I'm sure working with lots of people, it's one of the primary things you work with as well.
Yeah,
coaching?
well, it's inflammation, right? So we eat a lot of foods sometimes that inflame us, and we're already inflamed. So that's going to be a major problem. So you want to eliminate anything inflammatory. And also I think a huge part of this entire thing, the entire journey, is about customizing it for you personally. So something that might work for me diet-wise might not work for somebody else.
Totally. Yeah, you have to be aware of what works for you. It's been really interesting and having the time to reflect on that and feel for myself. And actually, I went on the Alyssa Goodman soup cleanse because so much of
Absolutely. Maybe just cutting down the coffee, minimize, whatever it is for you. So radically changing, right? So number 2 is taking control of your health. And I think what you just said, Rob, is important. So just because a dietitian, just because whatever says you should eat whatever health.
It's such a profound point, and you can do it both ways, right? There's an outside-in approach where you just change your diet and all that. There's also an inside-out approach where you get clear about what feels good to you and then you trust that. And so I believe in taking both approaches. But yeah, it's a really, really important point.
Right, for sure. So number 3 is follow your intuition, which you just spoke on. So I'm sure, Jeslyn, you're following that intuition saying, I need to be sometimes at this.
to seek the acupuncturist, I need to seek the guidance of coaches and experts, because just taking the knowledge from one doctor isn't enough for me.
It's interesting. I have a psychologist friend. She does lots of studies on health outcomes as a result of medical diagnosis and whatnot. And one of the things she said, if I would give people one piece of advice, it's always to seek out a second opinion, no matter what diagnosis or prognosis you get. And so yeah, it's a great,
for
so
sure.
important.
So number 4 is use herbs and supplements. So the people that had radical remission, they took supplements. Our body has to cleanse and it has to bring nutrients in. That's one of the primary factors of a cell regenerating itself.
Yeah, and such a great point, and I think sometimes we overlook that. Our body has a natural healing capacity. I mean, it wants to be healthy. It's designed. It's designed to be healthy, and so we want to do everything we can to facilitate that. And herbs and supplements help that.
A little herb too,
a little herb too. Yeah, apparently in LA.
It's important to recognize your body does have the power to heal, but there's nothing wrong with giving it a little extra boost.
Oh, that's exactly the point. You want to help it as much as you can. Totally.
Right. So number 5, I think is probably the most important in my opinion, and it shows it a lot in the Heal documentary, is releasing suppressed emotions, because emotions stay in the body and they basically do all kinds of crazy things. It weakens different organs. It does all kinds of things. So get that shit out. Get that BS out. That belief system out. Right?
Yeah, it's true. That's been one of the most conflicting pieces of research over the years, because for a long time, I don't know if you remember, but they were encouraging people like punch pillows and hit things and really take your anger out on something that's not going to hit you back and not going to create a problem for you in your life, but they found that doing it in that way is actually very counterproductive. It actually feeds the emotion that you're feeling, and so you've got to find healthy ways to channel that emotion and to vent, with experts and folks that have an ability to sort of receive. And
that's an interesting thing for me, because I sometimes don't want to experience the emotions because I don't want to become them. I don't want to give them that power, and I don't want to acknowledge that. So it's like, ooh, I might be feeling this, but I'd rather just not feel it because I don't want to give it that power.
So you just described meditation perfectly, because what it is it's stepping back and observing without judgment, with unconditional love, what's happening in your body, whether it's the emotional body or physical body, just observing it. And then by doing so, you don't actually become the emotion. It doesn't consume you or take you over.
You can just let it pass?
You can let it pass.
I love it.
Ooh, that's good.
So number 6 would be Rob's expertise, because he's a positive psychologist. So it's increasing positive emotions.
Yeah, I don't
so,
know anything about that.
well, that'll be another day.
I know a little bit about that. But yeah, it's amazing the ways in which positive emotion, it allows you to ward off or defend against stress and other things that might otherwise harm your health much more easily. So when you're in positive emotion, little things don't bother you as much emotionally, but they also don't bother you as much physically.
Right?
Yeah.
Turning on the music, getting around great people, exercising, getting in gratitude. I'm sure there's like 1,000 things. Check out your book.
There you go.
I started hosting Good Morning LaLa, and I feel better than ever. Doctors told me you're not doing so great, and I'm like, no, listen, I'm doing fantastic.
Right? So number 7 is embracing social support. I think this is very overlooked in today's world, with 75% of Americans at some course in the week feeling lonely. We need support systems. We need love. We need community.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's like a catch-22. It's like asking the bank for a loan when you don't have any assets.
Right?
So it's like, that's kind of the challenge. When you're lonely, it's hard for people to want to connect with you as much. When you're happy, people want to connect. They want that positive energy.
Yeah.
That being said, there are people out there, hopefully like all of us, who want to help people feel better who are feeling lonely.
Right.
And so you can reach out to those kinds of
12
people.
steps, a great free place to go to go vent, get your anger out, whatever it is. Okay, so number 8, my favorite, is deepen your spiritual connection. So of course, meditation, prayer, whatever that is, Mother Nature, if you get your connection there, whatever, however you find that source.
Yeah, there's a great sort of expression in the Course in Miracles. And the expression essentially is that enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. And I feel the same way about healing. It's a recognition and not a change at all. And I think when you get in more and deeper harmony and connection with your own spiritual inheritance, it allows that healing to sort of manifest itself in tangible ways.
So as a Doctor of Divinity, we call it revealing the truth. So we don't heal, we reveal. And when you reveal the truth, it like light, when you put light in a room, it takes away the darkness. So you don't have to focus on fixing the problem, you actually you focus on bringing the light in.
Yes, it's just a shift in perception, isn't it?
Okay, and finally, number 9 is have a strong reason for living, and we know this, through things like the concentration camps. We found out that the people that really truly survived were the ones that had a reason why. So finding out your reason why, having a purpose, is really what makes people decide, I'm going to heal from stage 4 cancer. It's a determination for sure.
Absolutely. People are often very clear about what they die for, but they're not that clear about what they'll live for. And it's amazing when you discover that, and you don't have to discover it fully, but just begin to discover that it is transformative for your entire life.
I think there's an interesting conversation there, and just to touch on it briefly, is not to have this overwhelming mission statement of this is why I am on this earth and this is what I'm going to live for. Okay, because that's like creating the vision board that I had in mind. I don't have the answers. But I think in recognizing just the fact that you have been given time on this earth as this soul in this body, that's enough, because you're here for a reason, you're here for a purpose. Even though if you don't know what that is, that's enough.
I'm inspired.
Yes.
Are you guys? I'm so inspired.
It's so true. It's just by being born, you've hit the cortical lottery. Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. Someone was saying, imagine how many millions of sperm, and then you're the one sperm that made it to this, that made it to that, to have this incredible experience on this life, right?
Yeah, it's the most impossible journey ever, and you were successful at birth.
When we've made it this far,
yes,
so
exactly.
Keep going.
That's right, absolutely.
Okay, guys, so I'm so excited to get back to the back set and interview Kelly and just have a divine day discovering healing. So if you know anyone that's dealing with this, or you feel like could shift their thoughts, please like, share, or comment on this for your friends. Bring them into this conversation. We're going to have another half an hour here, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paprath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessa Moye.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rose girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks
having
for having
Rose
me on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean, we have roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you. I so appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Jenna Barnett with Millennial Mom on Focus TV, and today I have Jennifer Yen here today to chat with me about all things mom related. So you actually started your career as an actress and you were on the very famous TV series Power Rangers, right?
Yes, I used to fight them as my first career.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay Edwina Chia. Ladies and genticles, Tiffany Angulo, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. You know, you're my Beige Bay of the week, not only because of your nationality, but because you just seem like the girl who does it all.
Hi everybody, I'm Allie Landry and welcome to Reshape TV. I have created an online platform, reshapelive.com and Reshape TV, to provide a place where women can learn from the very best resources for those of us who are striving to reshape our lives and live an optimal, healthy lifestyle.
Hey LA, I'm Gwen Lane with the LA Girl, and I'm here with Liz Hernandez, former TV host at Access Hollywood and now the founder of Wordiful. So excited to hear more about that. Liz, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Gwen. Thanks for having me.
Hi everyone, it's Michelle Gillette, life coach and host of the Spotlight series on Focus TV. And joining us today is our dear friend, Shalini Videra.
And thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm so happy to be here.
You're the perfect person to be here because we love anything that is, women helping other women, women empowering other women.
Hi, I'm Janica. I'm here with Focus TV for my segment of Fearless Females. And today I interview Doriana Richmond. You're gonna love listening to Doriana. Not only is she beautiful, but she's so heartfelt, and she has created this amazing jewelry line called Stone Simple. Hi.
Oh, thank you for that introduction.
Yeah,
wow.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, and welcome to Everyday Game Changers, the show that features people giving back to their community. I'm your host, Annalise Getz, and today we are joined by Rolanda Watt. Rolanda is a stand-up comedian, she's an actress, she's a television personality, and she is a philanthropist, which is why she's here today. So thank you for joining us, Rolanda.
Thank you for having me. A joy to be here.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new magical episode of Soul Reboot. I am your host, Allison Charles. Please welcome and meet this powerful divine queen whose name is Daphne Wayans. I am so happy to be here with you.
I'm so honored to be here.
back live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so honored to have Kelly Noonan-Gores, who's the writer-director of Heal documentary. Incredibly, like, just incredible project. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. You guys are awesome.
Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Holy cow.
Inside now.
Right?
Yeah.
So you are healing yourself like we all are, and you're really healing the world. Thank you so much for all your work. We want to hear about the journey. How's it going?
Yeah,
How's
what
the
was
documentary
the
going?
inspiration for this?
Yeah, so I wish I had like a, story, an easy story to tell, or a personal healing journey. I didn't. Little events throughout my life occurred where that made me go, oh, wait a second. For instance, one of them in high school, I got really sick. My glands were swollen to like the size of golf balls. And once I became well again, my glands remained swollen. So went to the doctor, they put me on antibiotics, tested me for mono, all this stuff that, they test for. No answers. So, 6 months later, they decided to do a biopsy. I had to go in to the hospital, get this major, general anesthesia and all those non-fun things. And then nothing, inconclusive. Then I went to my mother's chiropractor, her appointment with her, and the chiropractor was like, oh, just swirl some, like a rice vinegar, and swallow for a week, and see, maybe that'll clear out the infection. In like 6 days, glands went down, and I was like, wait a second. I didn't have to have that surgery? Like, what? So that was probably my first seed planted of like natural remedies,
Right?
might
So
be pretty
for
powerful.
people that haven't seen the documentary, let's just give them a little like overview of what is the documentary. We're going to show the trailer in a minute, but from your perspective, tell them a little bit about it.
Yes, so the film, the film is basically showing people how incredible the body is and how we're designed to heal, and how big of an impact our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions have on our physical body. So as you guys were mentioning before, those 9 healing essentials that people, tapped into, only 2 of them are physical. The rest were mental, emotional, and spiritual. So that I look at as kind of the ratio for what you need. If you want to heal physically, you really need to bring in the emotional and mental factors. And we see it in the placebo effect, how what you believe affects your biochemistry and your physiology. So belief and the mind-body connection is very powerful. So it's meant to inspire and empower, and also kind of make people aware of their mental states and emotional states affecting their physical.
And so let's take a look at the trailer.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
In order for some of us to wake up, we need a wake-up call.
I've been living with chronic pain.
I was diagnosed with lupus, MS. My right side of my body was paralyzed.
I have a brain tumor.
So it was stage 4, and that was a shocker. I had never heard of anyone living from stage 4.
Unfortunately, in today's world, the stresses are 24/7, 365. So the net result is illness and disease.
We have a sick care system where doctors and insurance companies are basically treating symptoms, but aren't really getting to root causes.
They leave with every kind of medication,
which then has a side effect, and so you basically become a victim twice.
Okay, so believe the diagnosis. Now you can do something about it, but don't believe the prognosis.
If someone says, well, there's a less than 1% chance of recovering from the kind of cancer you have, and why couldn't it be you?
What seems very, very clear to me is that my body wants to be healthy, but it's the head. It's the fear. I don't know who I am without being sick.
in a way, we have more faith in the power of cancer to kill us than we have faith in the power of miracles, the power of infinite possibility.
The body has a capacity to heal that I was never informed of as a medical student or resident.
The best science of our time is now showing that every organ in the human body has the ability to heal itself.
What we see here is belief itself shifts biology.
So if I change my perception, I change the signals that are adjusting the function of the cell.
The power of belief is, it's almost everything.
Your body loves you. It loves you unconditionally. It doesn't matter how long you've been sick, you can heal.
These symptoms are brilliantly intelligent in waking us up.
This life is as beautiful or as terrible as you make it.
The Buddha said that every man and woman is the architect of their own healing.
And that intelligence that's giving us life, it is the greatest healer in the world. All we have to do is get out of the way.
Wow, holy cow, right?
I'm always that guy at the movie theater that's very quiet, but when I see just saw the trailer and I saw the entire documentary, but I want to like run. I'm so excited. I'm like, this is amazing. This is why I love having these conversations with you. This is why I love doing what I do, because I think at the end of the day, it is about healing. You know, it's so powerful. Have you found that you've become more interested in healing as you've been involved in the movie?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's life imitating art. So process, we were, you know, kind of a micro budget film, so we had a skeleton crew, but a bunch of very talented, passionate people. But every day on set, we had to kind of remind ourselves, like, we were in it, we were learning, so we wouldn't, you know, let these little challenges that inevitably come up in a film production, we didn't let them stress us out. We really were trying to practice what we are, you know, speaking to in the film. So it was great. A lot of healing went on.
It's interesting. I mean, you say it was a micro budget film, and I watch that and I think, but it's priceless. It really is. The message that you're sharing. What is your vision with this? How are you hoping that it affects the audiences?
Well, I think that, you know, our medical system right now, as you can see with healthcare, and, you know, there's a lot of issues and problems that need to evolve and grow and kind of move in. As Michael Beckwith was saying, we have a sick care system, not a health care system. So in that movement to wellness, a lot of, you know, massive changes need to occur. But I think, you know, for me, I just wanted to wake up the individual and empower the individual so they can start taking responsibility for their health, asking questions, getting second opinions, realizing that these alternative therapies do work, even if you use them in conjunction with your Western treatment. Just because I feel like if the demand changes, you know, then the system changes. So I just wanted to wake up and empower the individual. There's over 140 million people in this country alone dealing with a chronic illness, and that's crazy.
That's like a third.
That's or a half. You know,
and you know what's even scarier too is the thought that so many of those chronic illnesses are a direct result of the medications that they've been taking for other illnesses, and they're a victim of the side effects.
Correct.
And they are trapped.
Exactly.
It's so interesting to me, and I have a question,
go ahead,
just real quick. I have a friend, and he's a professor, and he said something interesting one time. He said, we think of medication as having side effects, but the side effects that we experience are actually the main effects. And the side effect is the healing that often happens. And I thought, whoa, it changed my entire thinking around medication. You know, it's a real challenge. Has it changed your perspective on medication to some extent?
Yeah, you know, we look at the placebo effect, and there's a man in the film, Dr. David Hamilton. He was a organic chemist that worked for pharmaceutical companies, and once he started realizing in the testing of the drugs, you know, they have this placebo to see, you know, how effective the drugs are in comparison to the sugar pill. And what he found was the placebo was almost just as effective, and there's no side effects because the person is expecting and thinking they're going to have this outcome from this pill. So he and I both agree that, you know, you can tap into the placebo effect and you know, condition someone with a medication and then replace it with a placebo, and your body is conditioned and you believe, and then you're going to release the same effects. We have this inner pharmacy, so like, why aren't we doing that?
Why aren't we? That is so interesting and powerful, especially because when you think about the withdrawals that are happening when you're coming off of prescription pills, if you had a placebo that tricked your mind into thinking, hey, I'm still getting what I needed, you might not have the breaks. You might not feel like you were going to pass out. Your blood sugar or your blood pressure might not be through the roof because you're like manifesting that for yourself. That's so powerful.
And we have the nocebo effect also, right? Where if a doctor says, you know, you have 6 months to live, and you believe that, then they're finding as many effects of believing in something that can go wrong.
Yes.
Well, right?
You buy into that, then that is what is going to, you know, that might speed along your process. So that's why one of the big messages of the film is go to your doctor, get the diagnosis, get a second opinion, and then don't accept the prognosis. Don't let any other person, doctor or otherwise, tell you what's possible in your life. If there's a 20% chance, you know, will be that 20% that you turn it around, because it's obviously possible. So, you know,
right?
You can do it. So don't let anyone bring you down with that nocebo effect.
So watching the documentary, you know, obviously I'm a doctor of divinity, so a lot of these things are not new concepts for me, but it was so profoundly, all the teachers, all the people you interviewed are profound experts in their field. there were a couple that really stood out, because like Rob Wergren, who we went to the same event this last Sunday, you know, there's some scenes in the movie, the documentary, where he puts his hands on people and he's considered a divine conduit, and he literally, like, people like shake and they, you know, they heal instantaneously. What do you think? What was your experience? I mean, because you saw a lot more than just the amount that was in the documentary.
Yes, I mean, you know, it's different for everybody. Belief does play into it. Some people, you know, have deep emotional stuff going on that might take them. It's painful to open up that can of worms as well. So there's no, you know, some people can heal spontaneously in an instant. Other people, it might take months, years to turn it around. So it's a commitment, and it's keeping that. You know, it is frustrating. And it does take persistence, but, you know, I believe, and, you know, everything in your life happens for a reason. And it's, you know, for instance, I'll keep it quick, but two good friends of mine met. Well, therapy. One guy fell off a balcony and is lucky to be alive, and the girl got in a car accident. They met in physical therapy, going through the darkest times of their life. Now they have two beautiful babies. So, like, you just never know where a challenge leads you, you know?
Right. So at the event on Sunday, Michael Malura was playing music, who is a dear friend of mine, and I was able to interview him here as well. We wanted to show a little clip of him real quick, just giving some honor and praise. Would you sum up the movie in just kind of a short, for people that haven't seen the documentary?
Well, I think the film really aims to make it more accessible information about alternative forms to chronic illnesses, terminal diagnosis, things like that are normally extremely scary, and make it more hopeful. Give people more information on what they can do when they get a diagnosis, and to turn people on to alternative medicine approaches and things like that. So I love this movie because it really hits home for me personally, because I love the subject of healing and different approaches to healing. And I love the way the movie really brings in a lot of different components of from traditional medical approaches to interventions, plus the alternative stuff that you know is now catching on.
What an honor to score the movie, to be involved with these incredible evolved consciousness. He's so wonderful. I mean, he did, of course, Heal documentary. He's done Awake with The Life of Yogananda and Hare Krishna. So what, I mean, geez, holy cow, what a community.
He's tapped in.
Yes.
He's definitely tapped in.
I have a question about that. It's one of the things I've found incredibly healing for me is music itself, right? And I mean, mantras to some extent. You know, they all sort of, I think the vibration is always about harmonic resonance, right? There's a lot of studies about that. But what's your experience of that been? Would you say that music is one of the things that you noticed with some of the folks that either have been healed or heal others? Is music and sound?
Yes, I mean, Dr. Jeffrey Thompson is one of the experts in the film, and he heals people through sound, and he actually measures and finds your precise frequency that will drop you into, you know, the parasympathetic nervous system, so you can rest and repair. So, you know, he points out that every culture, every ancient culture going back thousands of years, have used some form of sound or music in their healing, you know. So, you know, I've had sound baths before. Again, we're all energy, it's all frequency, it's all vibration, and just like those harmonic resonance, you know, tones that you're speaking of, yes, sound and music is it's an amazing way. Even like Masaru Emoto's work with the water and the crystals. Yeah, you play heavy metal, the crystals are discordant and incongruent, and then you play the Beatles or something with a loving, you know, intention, and they're perfectly, you know, symmetrical, beautiful.
Break. We need to take a break, but when we come back, you guys, I want to ask you a few questions about what people can do out there. What are some primary steps people can do? And we know that I love the documentary because you also do take in effect Western medicine and Eastern medicine and spirituality. So let's give them some tips when we come back. So stay tuned, you guys. We will be right back.
Welcome to the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. I'm Jasmine Moyer, host of the Focus TV network show, LA Unscripted, and co-host of America's first live streaming talk show, Good Morning, La La Land. This is the Focus Magazine preview show and an exclusive sneak peek. Today, I have the privilege to announce the March 2018 issue of Focus magazine, and we're calling it the Influence issue, featuring amazing personalities making a difference in our local communities. On the cover, we have singer-songwriter and host of Chasing Glory podcast, Lillian Garcia. I had the extreme honor of both interviewing her and writing a feature for the magazine on Lillian. She's truly an influencer on so many levels. Joining her on the cover is my spiritual influencer and co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand, Dr. Erin Haskell. And with her is a true professor of influence, Amanda Russell. Also featured in this issue, we have the constructional chef, Scott Harris, executive chef from the Four Seasons Hotel right here in Beverly Hills, Byron Thomas, and two members of the Focus TV family and dynamic duo of lifestyle influence, Janet Gunn and Melissa Myers. Also in this issue, we feature Lauren Everts, the founder of the Skinny Confidential, hello gorgeous, and the candle makers Elise Fratto and Maylene Weber of Leone Candeli, which is of course right over there. And Cynthia Abby Naked, who I interviewed for my show LA Unscripted, and she is the founder of a great piece of functional jewelry from the Coley Collective. We also have a celebrity chef, Serena Poon, and her new product, Just Add Water, in a series of 4 mom influencers from our millennial mom herself, host Jenna Barnett. It's all influence, influence, influence in this issue of Focus magazine. Get your copy today on newsstands or online, and be sure to watch our companion video features as well, because we are the only magazine in the country providing a robust video complement to our print features. I'm Jasmine Moyer, coming to you from the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. Thanks for watching.
We are back with Kelly Noonan-Gores talking about Heal documentary. So let's break this on down. Okay, people are watching. Some people are highly, highly evolved, have done a lot of spiritual work. Other people, you know, maybe dealing with chronic illness, and you can be both. You could be doing a lot of spiritual work and still have a lot of chronic illness. So let's break this down, because we know that thoughts create things. We know that the moment you assign a negative meaning or a positive meaning, you instantaneously have a response, positive or negative, within your emotions of your body. So what can people do? I know that you've seen many things, like different modalities. What are some suggestions for people?
Oh my! Well, there's there's a spectrum of things that people could be dealing with. So, like a spiritual practice, like you said, meditation, I think, is a big one. You know, it could be prayer, but anything that kind of we talk about in the film too. You know, in Ayurveda, they say accumulation is the first kind of step to disease, and there's 6 steps before, and then it manifests. But it starts at accumulation. So, same thing goes with the thoughts and the stress of our mind, or holding on to resentment or, regret from the past. All that stuff is accumulated in your body. It's dense energy, thoughts in your head. You've got to release that. You've got to let go. And so it doesn't build up. You got to.
Okay, so let's break this down. So physically, because we know that number 1 is like radically changing your diet.
Yes.
So do you cleanse? Do you detox? What do you do?
I try to not stress about what I eat. I try to eat the cleanest sources possible. So, I personally eat meat. I know a lot of people are no meat at this point, but if I do eat meat, it's not a lot, but I eat the cleanest source possible. So, whatever the source is, it's in their natural environment. They're treated well, because all that is energy you're putting in your body. But yes, I think it's important to detox. I think that any animal, when they're hurt in the forest, they fast until they heal. So, digestion takes up a lot of energy in your body. So, you want to, especially if you're going through something, a healing journey, you want to put less energetic burden on your body. So you're going to want to eat lighter. You're going to eat a lot of greens, nutrient-dense foods, and not foods that are going to be hard to break down, because that's going to take energy away from healing.
Right.
So, yeah.
You were interviewed also by Alyssa Goodman, who we adore and is a part of the family here at Focus TV. Any other programs that you recommend that you've seen that are around detoxing and cleansing that in your journey of seeking, because you've been seeking a lot?
There's so much, and like you said, it's bio-individual. It's custom for you. So I know that a lot of experts now are saying maybe you need meat for healing energy. There's so much. So your intuition. Try things, listen to your body. Anita Morjani is an expert in the film. She healed from stage 4 cancer. And she says, you find out what's, a nutritionist can tell you to eat one way, but if it's not sitting well with your body, listen and trust your intuition and find what your body is speaking to you, so follow that.
Gosh, I love that you brought her up, because her book, Dying to Be Me, was it's one of my favorite books.
Incredible
and
story.
The reason that it's one of my favorite books is because one, she's so honest about her journey, and two, what she says, it challenges those of us who are so intent on believing that belief is everything, because she does believe in that. That's not the question, but she also says, I was healed not as a result of believing something different or new, but as a result of dropping all of these other sort of unhelpful, not constructive beliefs that I had. And so she says, you don't necessarily have to believe really, really hard in order to be healed. You can just simply let go of things and be healed, so to speak. She says it much more eloquently in the book.
Yes.
I love that.
You did great.
Yeah, she's got a great story, incredible story.
I got so many questions for her. So I have another question. So the question I have is, so one of my favorite teachers of all time is Joel Goldsmith. And Joel Goldsmith started as sort of like a Christian scientist, and then he moved on, and he was a businessman. But what happened one day was he was just working as a sales guy, and somebody random come up to him and said basically, can you pray for me? I know that if you pray for me, I'll be healed. And he said, I don't know anything about God, really. He's like, I knew a little bit of this Christian Science stuff, but I didn't really know anything. And he said, I said yes to the guy because I didn't want to make him feel bad. Closed my eyes and said, God, I have no idea what I'm doing here. If there's something to be done, please do it, because I have no idea. He said, the guy left and said, thank you. Came back the next day, healed. So then he said, what's going on here? So the next thing you know, his business started closing down. He couldn't make any more sales. And people only called him for healings. And he did the same thing day after day after day, which simply said, I don't know why these people are calling God, but if there's something to be done, do it. And it was being done. So he wrote all these books about it. His bottom line is, while sound and music, that's fantastic, for silence for him was everything. So did you notice in the, and I heard a little bit of that in the documentary, does anybody specifically talk about silence in the interviews that you've had and the value of finding a quiet place inside and letting that healing happen in sort of an organic fashion?
Yeah, and that's ultimately what it is, right? It's your self-healing, and you may seek outside for the answers and support and all these things that are going to help you, but ultimately it's coming from within. And Rob Morgan, he says, I just ask God and I get out of the way. It's that natural, and the ultimate spiritual lesson that Peter Crone and many others, Michael Beckwith, they all talk about it in the film. It's like Marianne Williamson, Jesus healed because he saw beyond the illusion of whatever's going on physical, and he already knew your spirit is whole, you're healthy. So it's, that's the silence. That's your true nature is always there. It's like the sun is always there above the clouds. It might be raining, but you're healing. You're already healed.
Shivers. That's exactly the way Joel put it. He said, because later he said, I was trying to figure out what exactly was happening when these people were being healed through me. I wasn't healing them, they were being healed through me. And he said, what I realized I was actually doing was going to that place inside myself where I was one with them, and the healing was unnecessary because I was already, and they were already whole. No healing necessary. So it was just a recognition, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Profound.
Absolutely. We have to take another break.
Okay.
But when we come back, we want to dive a little bit deeper into where people can find the documentary, how they can actually host maybe something themselves, and how they can get involved in the community. So stay tuned, you guys. We will be right back.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. I am your host, Victoria Simone, bringing you some of the highlights of what was filmed last week at the Focus TV network, which is America's first video streaming talk show network. Today I have my favorite Jocelyn Moyet, host of Good Morning La La Land, helping me out. First up, we had Moms Matter, hosted by Shirin Yadagard. We shot The Alyssa Goodman Show with the amazing Alyssa Goodman herself. We shot Game Changers with Annalise Getz. Aside from our normal lineup, we had Good Morning La La Land, who was on your show.
Alison Marie Rigoso, creator of Bogavia. We also had Richie Shang, creator of The World's Greatest Vacations. And Friday, Chad Johnson, Bachelorette, famously single. And we had a whole studio full of pet love this week with Love Pets Photography, Saving Canine Lives, and Muffins Halo.
Thanks for tuning into This Week in Focus. I'm your host, Victoria Simone. Jez, thanks for helping me out. Bye-bye.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are here with the filmmaker of the Heal documentary, and I am just taking this all in. Like, I have no words, but thank you for taking us on this journey of healing our minds and our bodies, and for sharing this and continuing to do this. Thank you for that.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Right?
It's huge, and it's just a testament to the demand and need and desire that people have for healing and for spirituality and for positivity and just for living a happy, healthy life. You know, so thank you. You're really the epitome of that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, and the more we can get viewership up and things that we really care about. That's why it's really important to share and support the projects that we really care about, because you know, there's so much fear out there. There's fake news. There's all kinds of chaos, and it's a time right now where people have to make a decision, and you're going to have to turn off the news feeds and things that are not serving you, and you're going to have to start, you know, following the people that you really care about and that are making a difference. And so this woman really is somebody to check out on social media. She's someone to put that post notifications, like get the notifications when she posts kind of a thing, and support the documentary, because I know, I mean, I don't think, there's not probably anybody that doesn't have somebody that's dealing with a chronic illness.
Exactly.
Or somebody that's dealing with depression or whatever that is. And so if it's not for you, please share it with somebody that you feel like could benefit from it.
So what's next for you?
You know, I'm actually going to write the Heal book based on, much like The Secret, you know, it's a lot of people like something tangible in hand, so they can go to the lesson that they really need to learn and immerse in. So the Heal book will be coming largely on the film, you know, and then I'll add some more stuff in there. We're kind of continuing the conversation. You mentioned depression today on our Heal documentary Facebook page. We're doing Facebook Live with Kelly Brogan, who is the holistic psychiatrist in the film. I've done a couple others with some of the experts in the film, just continuing the conversation, because our audience, our followers, really love, you know, the constant inspiration. I mean, you need every day to like have that strength to move on and continue on that journey, that healing journey. So
you almost need to drown in it.
Yeah.
My experience is that I need to drown in it. Yeah, I didn't realize how negative my thinking process was.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. So my father is a naturopath doctor. So how would somebody like him, who could, you know, serve in benefiting the community and benefit with, you know, having people realize what profound work so many healers do, how could someone like that get involved in community?
Yeah, so we could. People have hosted screenings all over the world. So it is important to come together in community, because that's when conversations start. And you ask the question, you set an intention to find an integrative doctor or the book you need that has the answer for you specifically. I mean, that's how the world works, right? So it's a great film to watch in a community. You can host a screening by going to events@healdocumentary.com, and they will email them and they'll help you set it up.
Okay, awesome. So we have a little present to give to you. It's just called Karma Army Coin, and it's basically about paying it forward. It's actually, if you want to do it, you do so many good deeds, but if you want to, you know, buy somebody a tea or buy them a ticket to see Heal document or whatever it is, you can give them the coin and say, just pay it forward. And so it actually has a little code on it that you can put your story in, and you can watch the butterfly effect of wherever your good deed goes throughout the world.
Amazing,
right?
I love it.
We're going to need 1 million more for her, because every time someone watches and shares the Heal video, she gets one.
We should just put them in the
We should.
in the DVD.
Let's make that happen. Oh my God, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so great. It's such an honor to be involved, and we want to serve however we can with our network, with any way of promoting and being involved. So
thank you.
So excited. I think it's just the beginning. You know, I just feel like it's one of those things that's going to even spiral to levels that we have no idea. So honored to be a part of this community with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
You
guys are living it.
That's right.
Really, we're living it.
So tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Every day we come here for positivity, knowing that everything is potential energy for you to use for the highest good. So have a great day. It's going to be a great day in La La Land.
It's a good morning, La La Land.
Here's you guys. So cool!
Thanks, guys. Yes, thank you guys. This is like
the book. So are you gonna? That's such a right.
The DVD. The people who published our DVD is the same that did The Secret.
They saw how well the DVD was doing, so they're like, okay, you gotta do the book now. Oh god, it's game over. That's game over. So has this completely changed the film? The volume turned down. but all of